Hello, my name is Vicky Butterfly. I'm a performer and I've been talking about some of the things that have inspired me. I think what I'm going to talk about now is, let's call it maybe self-inspiration in some way. When I say self-inspiration, I don't think I necessarily mean, I inspire myself because I think everything I do is wonderful and great. But I think it's probably because I think it's quite... The reason I chose to work as I work is because you can do it yourself. I think you're responsible for everything, so you have to inspire yourself. You have to keep yourself inspired all the time, because otherwise no one's going to make you do the work. It's not like it's all the decisions, all the pitfalls are usually your problem alone. I think I always looked at life a bit as life itself as a work in progress. My dad said that you learn something every day. My dad's he's 90 now, and he said that the day you don't learn anything is the day you're dead inside. So I think you have to keep researching, you have to keep learning something all the time, otherwise you'll just stay exactly as you are at the point at which you'll stop, which is everyone has to keep going, everyone has to keep evolving, otherwise you stay exactly the same as you did when you were 6. It's actually almost impossible to do, I would think. So every day you do learn from things. So I think it's almost a responsibility to seek out things that are inspiring and are positive, to help you grow to be the person you want to be. And if you're not the person you want to be, or as close to that as you can try to make yourself, I don't think you can make the work you want to work. I think learning things is probably my primary enjoyment in life. I remember when I was a kid, I did think when you were grown up you knew everything. Like, I thought that's what being it's what adults tell kids to control them. So they think they know everything. As people, you think your parents always know best because your parents know everything, because your parents tell you they know everything. Otherwise they couldn't tell you to go to bed at 10 p.m. with any kind of measure of success. I think I enjoy sharing my inspirations just because when I find someone new and exciting, or someone I'm interested in, I do have that temptation to tell everyone else about them because they're just so wonderful and interesting. I don't even necessarily think that everyone that I find interesting or inspiring is maybe a wonderful person, perfect, good at everything, or even everything that they've done is good, but they're always interesting. There's always I think almost all people are interesting. I think it's just some people are more visible, obviously, than others, so we can read about them. And obviously I'm probably more drawn towards certain kinds of people, maybe because they represent, maybe because some of them represent personal ideals, not some of them may be aesthetic ideals. But maybe some of them also, there's a lot of women on the list, and there are a lot of women who work kind of there's lots of you can identify maybe transformation, creation, like illusion, kind of almost like creating effect, something from nothing that's not, that doesn't actually exist, a world you can create for people to escape to, and those things are important for me. I think, well, they always say nothing is as contagious as an idea. I don't think knowledge is always inspiration, because some knowledge can be negative. I think maybe inspiration is just a word for positive knowledge. Like maybe it is knowledge that, I wouldn't say it's knowledge that necessarily helps people grow, but that don't do any harm. Put it that way, and force for good in the world. I think practically my idea what inspiration to me would look like would be a bit like, it's a little bit like the cover of that Velvet Underground album with all the different coloured swirling mists. because for me, like reading something interesting is interesting, but to just recreate something that's interesting is just kind of parroting it off. If I'm going to create something of my own, which is what I class as true inspiration, it usually comes at the point where there's a number of different things that are all kind of swirling around, and then at just one specific point, everything just kind of slots together. I wouldn't say like a jigsaw puzzle, but I would say like 3 colours of mist that then just the shapes suddenly seem to merge. INSPIRATION. I think one of the things that I'd say when looking for inspiration, but it was something I was thinking about, not just the idea of what's unsaid and what's unseen, the suggestion, I guess the illusion, the transformation of a lot of the people I've chosen. But it was that listening to that thing that Dustin Hoffman said about preparing for the role of Tootsie, and realising that as a woman he was the kind of woman that he would have ignored, you know, because he wasn't a beautiful woman. And he said that he cried because he suddenly thought of all the, you know, amazing women that he'd never had the chance to meet, because he'd made the decision not to talk to them. And I think one of the things I was thinking about was, for all of these really amazing people I know about, is the idea of all the potential amazing people that no one knows about. And I find those really fascinating. Maybe the potential for all the people who aren't recorded.